All right, everybody, welcome to the Studying Brew episode 1086. Oh my goodness. These are the nights where I'm like, can't we start at 10:15? Can't we start at 10:20? Only because my LA Kings, my hockey team, is like game one and it is bananas. And I apologize that I held off being on because I was trying to see it like wrap it up in the last 20-minute, 12 seconds left. You know how it goes, 12 seconds in the game lasts 20 minutes somehow. But that's neither here nor there. You're not here for my sports update. No, my name is Andy. I am the guy that's delaying the start of this thing. And I so apologize. But you're not here for me. You're here for Brandy. She's got her Series 6, 63, 26, Series 65, and that Series 7. This is the Studying Brew. Tonight, we are going to go over keywords. We're going to be talking about some keyword, what do I want to say? Keyword matchup, keyword associate, keyword um, no, what do I want to say?
Matches.
I said that matchup. No,
That
identification. Yeah. When you can identify keywords, phrases, things that stick out, things that can help you get an answer right, not necessarily because you didn't know it, but maybe you just you're not seeing the answer. You're not seeing. You ever got into the question and then you're like, oh yeah, I read the question. You're like, oh, that's definitely going to be this, and then you go down to the answer choices and then it's none of them. You're like, what now? It's none of the ones I thought it was going to be in my head. A lot of panic ensues. A lot of people get a little frustrated. They get a little tied up in the head. They're like, could it? I don't know. Was it A? Is it the longer one? Is it short? Brandy, what are those techniques again? Guys, this is where this helps you out because we not only show you that you need to read the answers first, but we help you identify keywords, opposites, similars, always identifying and really looking through these answers and really take them apart and observing them. And then guess what happens? You have an idea what you need to read in the question, or we like to call it reading with intent. You read the question with intent. You know exactly what you're looking for. I see peanut butter in the answers. I see it's a sandwich. I'm going to look for jelly just to confirm that I'm looking for a peanut butter jelly answer. Boom, done. That's basically what we want you to do. We want you to just stop doing it the same way that you've been doing it probably since you were 9. And some of us studying in the 1900s. That's 1900s way of doing it. We're trying to get into the 2025 way of doing this, the Kona way of doing this, helping you really get to those answers so that way you can get a right one. You only need to get like a 70% on some cases, right? If you're taking the 65, you need to get 92 right.
Yeah.
63, it's
43 correct.
43 correct. 63 and 65, it's how many correct. It's not a percentage, just so you know, in case you were wondering. NASA exams are different than FINRA exams. But look, it's neither here nor there. A lot of times we're so caught up and going, no, I've read the question. This is the way I do it. And I read the answers 3, 4, 5 times. And then that's going to help me get this thing right. Guys, it's not always a content type thing. It's not always a content relatable question. Sometimes it's buried in there. And you got to be able to get that answer and just know how to do it. So we're going to really work on that by playing a game. We had a great weekend. We had a lot of stuff going on, as all of you. I hope you all had a happy Easter. It was Resurrection Day. So I hope you all had a great one and really did what you do on your Easter, whether it's religious or not. Or maybe you guys took the time this weekend to really get your study on because some of the kids are out doing Easter festivities and you had a house to yourself. Or maybe this is the time for you to reconnect with family and you realize, man, Uncle Bill's doing pretty good. You know where I'm going with this, huh? Uncle Bill's doing pretty good. Looks like he's going to be retiring soon. Dial up your manager at your office. Hey, if I had my securities license, just let's just kick the can around a little bit. How much would a commission be on this old rollover that he may or may not have?
I'm just gonna say this is from Andy,
Not from Brandy. This is not from Brandy. Brandy is licensed. She would never talk this kind of talk ever.
ever.
But uh, but let's keep it real to the people that are unlicensed, and we need a little motivation. and you're like, I have a whole nother side of the business I haven't approached yet. Maybe it's time I not only take care of the old family, but also help myself out in the end. We help each other out symbiotically, right? Uncle Bill, we got something to talk about. Uncle Bill's, referring you, and you realize, man, I really need to get the securities license. That's what holiday sometimes does. We really start to focus on the fact that we've been slacking off on things and we really need to get focused on and really get our securities license so we could really have those conversations. Because if you're not securities licensed, you can't have that conversation at all. I do know that.
That
You
is
can't even approach it. You
no.
can't even talk about it. That's why Brandy stopped me and she's like, that's not Brandy talking. This is Andy talking. Because you can't have certain conversations after your license either.
No.
But it's all good. But we're just role playing and having fun with it. We're dreaming, right? Sometimes we need to dream to inspire ourselves to go get something, motivate ourselves, whatever it is. But I'm going to tell you guys this, whether it's that or the fact that you have a really strong why and why you want to do something, right? Why we want to be successful, why we want to succeed, why we want to level up. You need to be connected with that why all the time. And if you're not connected to why you're doing things, you're probably lost. You're probably unmotivated. You're probably not figuring out why I need to sacrifice fun for this. Why do I need to focus on the later when I'm not even sure what the later is? Guys, that is really something you have to dig deep and you have to figure that out for yourselves. But for tonight, we are going to go over those quizzes and those quiz questions, and we're going to look at those keywords. But if you haven't joined up with us and you need a program, if you're stuck in a program that has you going for 8, 9, 10, 20 weeks or whatever it is, and you need a study plan, we have that. If you on top of it, you go to the live sessions that we have, we tie all the content you learn on your own time. And then Brandy goes on those live sessions and she shows you how to really answer those quiz questions. She answers all that stuff that you need to answers to. I'm not figuring this out, Brandy. I need to figure out how to write notes. I never been taught how to write a note.
That's true.
Today, Brandy went over on how to even take notes. How do we use notes?
Like real notes.
Real notes.
Not school notes.
And I'm sad, I don't want to say that our, I think we all know the public school system is not the best.
Yeah.
A lot of us came from that. Not all of us went to private schools. And they would tell you to go take notes. And then you say, how do you take notes? And they say, write down what I say. And that's about as far as it goes.
Or you have to, like, some certain classes, like you had to divide it up into like your page up into like 3 sections, and you had to do this. Like you focus more on taking the note itself than what was in the notes.
That's in the fancy classes, Brandy. I'm talking about the ones where they barely even want you in the class, where they're like, just copy what's on the board and then go home and study that. What do I need? How do I study it? How do I look at it? I never even learned that, let alone know what you're talking about. As Brandy takes it down even to the basics of doing that. She even talked about how to do that. So if you want to get that replay, we have that available too. That's going to be dropping on Wednesday afternoon or morning. That will be dropping depending on the time zone you're in. And then also we have all these live sessions that go, and Brandy opens live quizzes. Sometimes she has quiz questions that she's trying to show you a concept of how to learn this stuff, breaks it down, guys, and shows you the needs that you need to have met so you can go take the test. So many times, so many people get wrapped up on scores on their Q banks. And to be honest, a lot of times they're disappointed when they find out those Q banks are not accurate to what's on the test. And it's a complete disconnect. We help in those live sessions with that, helping you connect with how you're going to connect with the questions that are on the exam. Chantel took her SIE the other day, and she was like, you know what? It all came together in the test. In the real exam, everything you were talking about all came together. It's crazy. Judy Jackson passed the Series 26 on the Thursday. Same thing. Said the exact same thing. I wasn't sure, got into the real exam. Everything came together. It was bananas. Like it was almost like someone gave me the keys and I had no idea before. And then I went to the exam and then boom, all these doors open, right? That's the experience a lot of people are having. So go check out the member sessions. Go check out all the stuff we have to offer. We got books for sale also, SIE 6, 63, 26, 65. We also have the Kona community on the Discord. I think they met up and did some sort of study session before the Studying Brew. If not, they do that frequently. So ask what's going on, what's popping. If anything, take a screenshot, leave some questions. If you have any exam questions that you're struggling with, be in those channels, ask questions, reach out, use it what it's for, which is to help you out. We got the 951-290-3077. Give me a call, give me a text. We even have an email, KonaButterflyz@gmail.com. Scan the QR code, hit the links. Tomorrow we have the SIE. We got the 6. We've got Kona Study Hall, but no small group tutoring. Don't worry. We didn't let anybody register for it. So there's no chance that you're disappointed by that. But we don't have small group tutoring. Tomorrow anyway. SIE Live, we are going over
and package securities,
package securities, Series 6.
Investment company structures.
There you go. And then if you're after taking those those sessions and you're like, Brandy, I need to take a quiz in there. I need to study. I need you to help me. Kona Study Hall. Be there. And Brandy will help do that. Series 65, 26. I know we didn't call your number yet for tomorrow or the 63, but you can still show up to the study hall, get your quiz in, get some help with it. All right, that's what it's for. All right, guys, if you have not been following us on Instagram, I wish you would. I tell you what, because when they let me know and they send me a picture, guess what, Brandy?
What's up?
We add another one to the Kona Hall of Fame because we got a passer. Yes, we do. We got a passer. Congratulations are in order. It was funny enough on Thursday after the brew, there was a student on and she's like, hey, I left you a message in the messenger on Facebook. And I was like, oh, I don't always get those, let me go check it. And what it said was, hey Andy, I just want to let you know I passed my Series 26. Congratulations to Denise Davis on passing the Series 26 on Thursday, but we didn't even know until after the brew. So I added her promptly to the Kona Hall of Fame, which was on Friday. Series 26. Congratulations on getting this done. Another boss lady out from Southern California getting this thing done. Got it 26, ready to open up her own office. And what did she say? I did it. I passed the Series 26 with the help of KonaButterflyz. I was introduced to Kona 1 week before my exam, and I just needed a few extra points to nudge me to the pass. I found it. I kept hearing Andy and Brandy's tips during the exam, so the questions I normally struggled with were so much easier to digest. Thank you for the great strategy. You are welcome, Denise. And I also like to say she is now on to the Series 65.
That's right.
Series 65. Congratulations on getting that Series 65 started because you passed the 26. We got the principal out of the way. Now we are looking at the newest principal in the biz. Moving on to the investment advisor role. So congratulations to you, Denise Davis, on getting it done. And we can't wait to help you out with that Series 65. That's so awesome. All right, but we're not done yet because we didn't have just one.
No.
We didn't have just one. We must be giving these away like they were wafers at I don't know. Anyways, congratulations are in order because we got another passer all the way from Oklahoma. Congratulations to Breanna Graham on passing the Series 26. It is an RVP. And if you're on the chat, you notice that Jacoby said, my RVP, he referred Breanna to us. And she checked into the Studying Brew, got checked into Kona, and she got the Series 26 knocked out. So awesome. I know you were talking to her. She was texting you through the Discord all the way up to like pretty much the exam today. So congratulations are in order, and another boss lady getting it done. RVP, ready to make that next move. She said it took me 3 to 5 minutes to brain dump every piece of information in my brain because I didn't want to burn any unnecessary mental calories, aka thinking when I can just look at the paper and get the answer. I used every inch of my scratch sheets of paper to write down A, B, C, D, and use my test taking tips. If I didn't know an answer, I kept telling myself I didn't need to get all of the questions right, only 70%. PMA, positive mental attitude, right? I took a couple of short breaks. Hey, so did you.
That's right.
You listen. It's the most time I've ever taken to finish an exam, but I was also the most confident I've ever been taking an exam. Wow. So congratulations on getting the Series 26 done. We are so honored and that we could help you out. And thank you, Jacoby, for another great referral. And hey, we helped you out. Got that Series 26 done. 2 boss ladies. 26 is done and out and ready to go. Do you want to say anything about Breanna?
Well, she did text me over the weekend, and I told her, I said she was caught up on a certain unit, a unit number. Right. And I said, what are you doing?
Yes.
What are you doing?
Stop using that junk.
I said, no. I said, what are you doing? Why are we focused on this is my toughest unit? So that's why I'm scoring lower here. I said, a question is just a question. It doesn't matter what unit it comes from. I said, stop getting in your own way. Guess what? Pass.
Totally passed. Coachable.
Super coachable.
Coachable.
Yep.
Unlike somebody on our team. Coachable.
Right. Super coachable.
Super coachable. In fact,
coach.
In fact, if I was on here watching my coach pass,
I'd be like, man,
even my coach is coachable.
I'm just saying.
Wow. Even my coach uses all the resources and everything. Maybe I should do that.
Yeah.
Just saying to that certain somebody watching in Florida.
That's right.
All right, everybody. Well, it's not about all these pass notice, and congratulations to both. I mean, yes. You can't get these pass notices without putting in that effort, putting in that work, being consistent, being driven to get this done. And it takes a commitment. It takes consistency. It takes to be coachable. If you're especially using Kona, to really, really listen to what we're trying to say and be open-minded.
I agree.
Someone call us disrespectful because we are being so honest about it.
You mean truthful?
But we're being honest.
Speaking truth.
And we just let the passers talk for it. So go on our Instagram, check it all out, see our newest Kona Hall of Fame members, and also it's about you. So let's get this thing going. Let's get the Monday going. Monday, Kona Catchphrase. Brandy is going to put some questions up on the screen. I'm going to read answers first. Just like I said in the beginning, it helps you read the question with intent. It helps you. If you are, a 5-time, 7-time, 8-time, 9, who knows how many times I reread the question person, right? How many times I don't know how many times I reread the answer. Still don't know what's going on.
Nope.
Do this.
Air think.
Do this. Oh, there's no answers on the ceiling.
No, there's not. Nobody wrote those.
But do you know what I do know? There's answers on the screen. And we're going to show you how to do that because we're going to put answers up on the screen. We're going to ask you to look for keywords. Sometimes they are security. Most of the time, it's not. You got 2 answers on the screen there. I just noticed both of them start the same way. Both of them, maybe 2 of them end the same way. Maybe 2 of them are exactly the same except for one difference. One goes up, one goes down. Or something like that. Or maybe they're very similar, right? Point these out. Say, hey, A and B look like they're opposites. A and D look like they're the same. Hey, did anybody notice that B is straight dumb? Like, that is just a dumb answer. Look, that's an observation that can really help you out. That's a key way, right? Or once we get into it and you see C is talking about electricity. B is talking about water. A is talking about dirt. You'll look in the question and then it says something about electricity and you're like, oh, I already know. Electricity is the keyword in the question. Answer and electricity in the answers. Boom, that's the connection. That's the dot to dot. I didn't even read the question fully. I didn't even read the answers fully. I was just looking for 2 keywords that go together like peanut butter and jelly. That's what we're asking you to do. So if you're playing the at-home version, write it down on the sheet of paper. If you're on here with us live, write in the chat what the keywords or the things that you find, right? We're not looking for you to answer it like going, that doesn't help you. We're not mastering Q banks here. We're trying to figure out how to master our brains and looking for keywords and all these other things so that we can help us out on the real exam when we don't have that type of Q bank, right?
Right.
All right, let's go for it. I'm going to read it. All right. D, participating preferred. C, callable preferred. B, cumulative preferred. A, convertible preferred. So right away, everybody is going to want to say preferred.
Right.
Yeah. Like right on Q. Yeah. So that's not a keyword. So let's just cross them all out, right? And then I like to do is go through the answers. And then just like in this case, I just like to say what the definition of those as a 14-year-old or a 12-year-old who has no idea what we're talking about other than that kind of vocabulary.
Pretty much.
Like convertibles to go convert something.
Yeah.
If I was in a convertible car, goes up, has a hard top.
Yeah.
Has a roof, no roof, right?
By the way, By the way, you described how I would make my definitions in high school.
Mhm.
You know, convertible, it means to convert.
Right. No, but it isn't it the most easiest?
Yeah, but I put change. I put change.
Cumulative,
Yeah,
like collecting. You
it is.
accumulate. You
It's a
guys
good
didn't
one.
think about that, right? Accumulate a collection of pops, vinyl pops, the bobbleheads.
Yep.
Callable, something to call up.
Cool. Mhm.
I'm callable. Yeah, give me a call at the Kona number.
That's right.
Call me up.
That's right.
I'm using a bad study program. Call me up. Participating.
Yeah.
Participating.
I'm gonna
To
say
participate.
get something,
Get something.
do something,
Do something.
hang out with.
Be with a bunch of people. Do it together.
I'm gonna put get or do
It's the
something.
opposite of not participating.
It's opposite of just sitting there.
Opposite of just sitting there on your butt.
Yeah. And then as we have seen in the chat, people were putting all the answers start with C except for D.
D. Great observation. Beautiful. Which type of preferred stock gives the holders the possibility of bonus payments above and beyond the stated dividend? Keywords, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bonus payments.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like change. That doesn't sound like collecting. That doesn't sound like call up to the majors, but it definitely sounds like you get something.
You're participating in a program that allows you to accumulate some points and then participate in getting some more above and beyond bonus points.
Exactly.
You got to be in that 7-Eleven rewards to get the rewards, right?
That's what we should call it. The participating, we should call it the rewards program.
What do they say in the lotto? You got to be in it to win it. You got to participate.
That's right.
D, perform approximately the same as the other investments. C, perform better than other investments. B, alpha is not a measure of specific company performance. A, perform worse than other investments.
Our son answered this answer.
We got two opposites, better and worse. A and C.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And we have a same. A company with a high alpha is expected. So keyword high, alpha. I'm thinking high alpha. I'm guessing that's better.
That's exactly it.
Uh,
He said, "Do you want to know how I got to that answer?" I said, "Yes, I do actually." Because he's not studying.
Our son is 16,
Yes.
high school.
Yeah. He said, I said, answer this question. And he said, okay. So I said, so he's all, it's C. I said, why? He's all, because alpha is good. And if you're high alpha, that means you're better alpha.
Just tells you what kind of gentleman we're raising here. Got to be alpha, the highest of alphas.
I mean, is he wrong though?
No.
Nah.
He's a football player.
Yeah.
Highest of all alphas is the best.
Yeah. High alpha.
Yeah. That's where we're at.
Alpha.
An SRO establishes fair pricing guidelines. An SRO is subject of SEC oversight. An SRO can sentence an individual to prison. An SRO can impose fines for rule violations. I'm gonna say I don't know much about much, but I'm gonna say sentence an individual to prison usually is for a judge.
This, oh, I didn't even, you're right. Okay, so hold on. These two are similar.
Yeah,
right?
I feel like you got to be in a court
Yes.
convicted of something.
This one has to be in
It's a
court.
different level.
And if you guys are wondering what Andy's doing, he's looking at the fact that this says impose fines, individual to prison, SEC oversight. And like he's picking out those things,
Right.
To pick apart, if you will.
I am.
Yeah. And if you look, court is probably, or sending somebody to prison is probably the worst thing.
It is. Yeah, if you're sending me to prison, you better be more than just an SRO individual with a windbreaker and a clipboard.
Right.
All of the following statements are true regarding a self-regulatory organization, SRO, except all are true except I probably would. I would have said B.
Yeah. The court.
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 Yeah.
Court.
It's a regulatory organization. It doesn't say a judicial.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's just common sense, right?
Yeah. It's an organization. It's not a judicial system.
Yeah.
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 It's not Judge Wapner.
Nah.
Didn't send anybody to prison, but still, you get my point.
I,
A lowering of foreign interest rates will strengthen the US dollar. Any change in foreign interest rates will depreciate the US dollar. B, foreign interest rates have no effect on the US dollar. A lowering of foreign interest rates will depreciate the US dollar.
by the way, this was
It was an accident. You're not trying to be
I wasn't trying to be sneaky on this one.
yeah. Oh, we need sneaky.
I mean, I
You're
wasn't
not trying to be locking into current events or anything.
No. Um no, that wasn't it. It was I might have should have saved this one for Thursday.
Oh,
But I feel like we could take a stab at
yeah,
this.
because this one you're saying has a little content.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. All right.
Mhm.
So we got the opposites there. I always think A and D. Once I figure an opposite,
Yeah.
usually that's it.
Yeah.
All right. So should we just read the question?
Yeah.
If there's a decrease in foreign interest rates, what impact will this have on the U.S. dollar? If there's a decrease in foreign interest rates, what impact will this have on the U.S. dollar? Sorry.
This actually could work. It is a little bit of content, but it could work. If you notice what I drew on top of.
Right. And then when I think of one going down, I always think it has to go up. Just automatically. What goes down has to go up. What goes up has to go down. In a simpleton way of thinking about it.
Yes.
I know there's way more to it.
There is, but I mean
I'm just trying to get an answer right, Brandy.
You are not wrong.
I just keep it as simple as my simpleton mind could do. D, strengthen. Because if it goes down in the foreign interest rate, that means the other has to go up.
And I also ask myself, why are you even asking me this question?
Why are you asking me this question, Brandy?
That's what I'm saying. Like, why is this thing asking this question when, as we know from studying, there's only been like, I think one thing that the arrows move in the same direction, and that's correlation coefficient.
Of course. But that's for another day. All right, what's the next question? Let's do this. D, the jointly held property is divided equally between owners and at death becomes part of the descendant's estate. The nephew may not withdraw assets without the consent of the uncle. B, upon the death of either owner, the account passes to the survivor. A, the uncle may not withdraw assets without the consent of the nephew. So we got uncle and nephew going at it here. That's all I can see there, right? Death of the either owner, the account passes. That's like rights to the survivor, I guess, or survivor.
What does that be?
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna focus on that word survivor.
Survivor. Yeah, I'm a survivor.
Same.
That is the same. I was actually gonna say that. That's the same. If it's the same, that means they can't be the answer.
Exactly.
D, jointly held property is divided equally. So it's divided up between owners and at death becomes part of the descendant's estate. It's like almost like all or nothing.
Yeah. So let's focus on survivor.
Yeah.
Estate.
Yes. An account that's established under joint ownership with the rights of survivorship between a donor uncle and his nephew has which of the following characteristics? I think it's pretty much just survivorship is what we need to look for, right?
That is it. That's what somebody put in the chat.
Joint and survivor, B.
Yes.
Survivor. Guys, sometimes we get things crossed up. If you see two answers that are exactly the same or sound the same, that means that they can't be the answer.
Right.
Now you're down to a 50-50. Now it's easy peasy.
Right.
That's it.
That's it. And we just had needed to focus on that one. little word.
Diana got a gold star on that.
Yes, she did.
Michelle's handing out the gold stars everywhere. Way to go. D, providing a client with a list of mutual funds having the lowest expense ratios for the past 5 years. C, providing a client with recommended list of mutual funds for her retirement account. B, recommending for a client to buy municipal bonds in order to reduce her tax liability. A, telling a client that an investment in a specific stock will meet her objectives.
Now, Eric in the chat put ing.
Yeah, you can't tell.
I'm not hating on that because I have got answers based on like 3 ings and 1 not.
Well,
but
okay, are you guys seeing something that I'm not? Because I see ing and both on all of them.
In all of them, that's what I'm saying. Right. But somebody elaborated, the same person.
Telling's the worst part. Like when you tell them to do something, it seems like it'd be bad.
Yeah, it's I feel like telling kind of falls in the same line as recommending.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what? Say that again? Telling falls into the same category as recommending.
So then we're left with D.
And also, the other thing I noticed is that this is talking about her objectives.
Yes.
This is talking specifically about her tax liability.
Yes.
This is talking about her retirement.
Yes.
This is the only one that's talking about just an expense ratio. Nothing specific to her.
It's
what's just
going on out there.
Just a list.
It's a list of stuff.
So D is different.
Yeah. Under the Uniform Securities Act, which of the following activities of an investment advisor is considered impersonal advisory service? Impersonal meaning not personal.
And Eric did say that D didn't have the word her.
Nope, it did not. So again, not personal. Not personal. This is just the way it is. Just laying out some facts here.
And it does have a number, but we don't usually lean into the fact that 5 is the number that we're going to focus on, because why? It's not written out. It's not digited.
By the way, sometimes people get these things wrong because they don't know the subtle vocabulary of a word like impersonal and what it means. Impersonal means not personal.
Right.
It's not about a specific person. So if you struggle with words like that, write that down. Guys, sometimes it's just that. It's not really securities at all. It's just that. It's not a bad thing. It's a great thing. Now you learn something, and just take that to the next question.
Just take it. That was it.
That's all. But the next question is on your own. Go get your own QBank going. Get your own questions going. Go get your own study session right now. Go do this right after we're done here, because that's the best way to retain a lesson, is to go put it into practice. How do you remember something? How do you get good at something? As soon as you're taught a lesson, go put it into practice. Go do that thing. So that way you can start right away mastering this stuff. But Andy, I haven't really started studying yet. I don't know a lot. Look, if you were on here and you were paying attention, you could still have gotten these questions right without studying a dang thing.
You could have got a 60% easy.
And you're almost there. Imagine when you know a thing or two. You already got a pass. It's that simple, everybody. It's that simple. Don't overcomplicate the process. Just do the process. Just do the process. That's all. All right, tomorrow we got live sessions for Tuesday. We got the SIE, we got the 6, we got the Kona Study Hall, no small group tutoring, but we will be back for the Studying Brew tomorrow night, test taking techniques Tuesday. Brandy takes the work off of you, the thinking. She's going to show you how nice and easy you can get these questions without knowing anything. And that's the best type of learning, where you don't have to know anything. Everybody in on that?
I am.
Especially when it's like 1 a.m. on the East Coast, right, Jacoby? But we'll do that tomorrow. Test taking techniques Tuesday, same bat time, same bat channel, but none of that can happen if you don't stay safe out there. Wash your hands, don't touch your face, don't touch your friend's face. That's all I know. Keep the positive mental attitude. PM, everybody have a great night.
Thank you all so much for being on. We so super appreciate you. Practice the Kona catchphrases in your quizzes. We will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great one.